Good evening, Arsenal community. Happy Sunday evening. Happy Mother's Day to the Arsenal ladies community as well. But before we get into this, Albert JTV match reaction. Let's smash the Albert JTV intro. We'll be back soon, people. Arsenal community, you are locked into Albert JTV. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Declan Rice's performance in that quarterfinal against France was elite level. Fantastic move personally. It kind of caught myself and probably Arsenal fans a bit left field in terms of And there you have it, people. Welcome back to Albert JTV for an Albert JTV reaction. Probably your third one in the last 24 hours. People, obliterate the like button and subscribe to Albert JTV. We are going live, not only on YouTube, not only on the Twitter feed, but also on Instagram Live. And it did work, people. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. But listen, Sunday evening at the Albert JTV household. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. We are top of the league. Housekeeping duties, people, if you don't know already, as well as being subscribed to Albert JTV, thank you for the new subscribers that have joined in the last 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever it is. It is much appreciated. And also, if you don't know what my social media handles are, they are at the bottom of the screen as you look at it right now. I will shout it out later. Because this will be put on the audio version for people that want to hear my Southeast London dulcet tones on a Sunday evening, maybe a Monday morning, or maybe a Monday night when you get round to listen back to the podcast. But let me come to the chat quickly. Yeah, Sunday evening, man. AFC always, thank you, my brother, thank you. Yeah, we'll get onto it, man. We did miss Mark Lady's Patience Day. He is our outlet, honestly. Like and subscribe. Yes, big up to you back for doing that. You're doing the housekeeping for me. I never need to say it before the start of the stream, but big up to the people, man. Got to see some amazing Goonies yesterday in the concourse before the game. It actually been a while since I'd been back to Arsenal for a league game this season. I'm trying to remember when the last one was. I'm not going to try and guess now because we've got a stream to talk about. Jarrett, my main man. All the way stateside, man. Big up to you, man. Great weekend for our Arsenal. Yes, we will talk about many, many things about our beloved Arsenal. What happened in the big game earlier, Manchester City and Liverpool. Oh, sorry, Liverpool versus Manchester City, shall I say. A 1-1 draw. I actually had that game down on my Super 6 for Sky yesterday when I was doing it. I had it down for a 2-2, actually. So a draw was... I think if there's one time you won't hear Arsenal fans complain, whether you're in WhatsApp group chats, Twitter spaces, Instagram lives, YouTube channel galore, they will agree that a result was a good result. A draw was a good result in the Liverpool-Manchester City game for Arsenal. It was. It actually couldn't have gone better from that standpoint of view as a one-off result. Yeah, so big up to people when you do come in the chat. Smash the like button already if you haven't already. Smash it, kick it, push it, touch it. But let's get into it, man. It's interesting. I don't know what you guys thought watching this live now or when you watch it back. Sort of the lead up game to playing Brentford. Because obviously, when you score 31 goals in 7 games, I don't care who the opposition is, that's phenomenal. You're not winning games by luck, put it that way. But with the Brentford game, big up to Sophie Nicolau for allowing me to come on to co-host on the Hybrid Squad to meet the brilliant Natalie Sawyer. Amazing. Seen the woman on Sky for so many years, and obviously now on TalkSport. Thank you for the opportunity, Sophie Nicolau, you legend, you. And I was asked score prediction for the game. And I said Arsenal to win 2-0. I'm not, no word of a lie, Arsenal fans in the chat thought I must have been drinking something. They thought I was taking maybe some illegal substance. Because they're thinking, oh my God, you know, the 31 goals in 7 games, we're going to smoke them and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And Brentford have got major injuries across their back four. No Aaron Hickey, no Ethan Pinnock, no Rico Henry. Who's the other guy? Oh God, who's the other guy? Ben Mee got injured against Chelsea. He's out for the rest of the season. But I thought, you know what? The reason why I said 2-0, and actually in my betting coupon, I went Arsenal to win. Both teams scored Arsenal to win. So kind of another agenda to that Arsenal wanted to win yesterday. But I thought it'd be tight, man. If anybody saw the Man City Brentford game, I know City won, but Brentford kept themselves in that game really, really well, man. And if they'd kind of worked the opportunities a little bit better in the final third against City, they could have gave Manchester City some problems. And City got the goal through Haaland through a defensive mistake when the guy, I don't know what the centre half's name is, I think he probably played yesterday, slipped in the hole and went and scored. So from that, I thought, you know what, Brentford's going to be tricky. Tony's come back, but one thing for me was a miss for them yesterday, even though they made it tough for us. Brian Mbeumo's a big miss, man. He's a big, big miss for them. Pace, can go in behind. A great support link for Ivan Toney. I know he's back in training, I think now or just before when we played Brentford, but I didn't think he'd play and he didn't play because he's a big miss for them. But sort of going into the game, saw in the squad that Martinelli was missing. So that was a bit of a bummer, got to be honest. I think he got a cut on his foot against Sheffield United. So that's a really irritating injury to have, man. Like, and it must have been really bad for him to not even make the squad. So listen, some of the players are coming back in terms of Thomas Partey and Fabio Vieira's, and Gabriel Jesus has to be managed back quite carefully. You know, with Partey and Gabriel Jesus, they're very high risk injuries, man. And they could break down any moment. It's just like a car, you know, as good as cars can be. And I know it because of my job outside of doing YouTube. Your car goes, man, you need another one, to be honest with you. But guys, I don't know what you think in the chat. Like, when you get your questions in, just put a Q before, and I'm going to star them, and I will try and answer them back when I can do. Oh, my mouse is gone, I think. Oh, no, I'm going to have to use my thing. Oh, what's going on, man? Madness. People had a bit of a technical malfunction. The mouse has gone dead, I think. Has it come back? No, it's gone. No, it's come back. It's come back. No, has it gone? No, it's there. It's there. It's there, people. It's there. Thank God. Thought it gone in the blinker there. But yeah, I was saying 2-0. I went for 2-0. But in terms of the game, yeah, Martinelli was a big miss. He's a big, big miss. I love Trossard. I think he's the best finisher probably at the club, if I'm being honest, in terms of getting us goals. But what Arsenal been doing well in very recent weeks is starting fast, or starting well and getting the early goal. I always say that sort of 15-20 minute period when you start a game, you can get a foothold in the game. It does set a tone for the rest of the match, which I thought, but I was wrong at some point. But it was tight, man. Like, you could kind of see within the first sort of 5 minutes the way it was going to go. And we had a lot of possession, which I thought we would do. Brentford looked to hit us in the counter with Tony and Visser and the two fullbacks bombing on. But I would say the only sort of the chance we did have, actually, when I saw the replay, we had a corner in the first half where I was sitting, because I sit opposite the dugout, centre circle, like row 11. So where I'm sitting, I'm thinking, oh, it's a good corner from Declan Rice, but it actually got cleared off the line by Ivan Toney. I didn't see that until I got home and watched the replay. So it actually would have gone, I think it probably would have gone directly in. But we didn't create loads and loads and loads. But the one bit of quality play we did create, Declan Rice, man, I'll tell you something. I think his numbers are, if I can find it, where's it gone? Let me see if I can find it. Great build-up play by Arsenal. Great build-up play. And you know what? Declan was playing obviously a little bit further up in terms of playing in that 8 role. Nice intricate play down Saka and Ben Whiteside. Great balling by Ben White, by the way. And a fantastic header from Declan Rice. From where I was sitting, right, it actually looked, I thought it was Havertz. But then when I looked properly, it was Declan Rice. Fabulous header, great run. And playing in that little bit more of an advanced role, it helps with why it's working so well with Jorginho in the side. And also Declan Rice. Declan Rice can have a little bit more of a license to get forward and sort of be box to box and make that late runs. He is 6'1", 6'2", Declan Rice, so he is very good in the air as well as being physical. Brilliant header, and we're 1-0 up within the first 20 minutes. So that was very, very important, because we know what happened with the game last season against Brentford, where, yes, a certain Brentford fan account conveniently forgot that when we get into the talking point of the game yesterday with Kai Havertz, which we'll get on to. But yeah, great header by Declan Rice. I think that is now for him Premier League 6 goals and 5 assists. And if you think about it, you look at his West Ham career in terms of goals scored and contributions. Now, that's not something you probably would have looked at him to say, wow, Declan, mate, you've got to hit those numbers a bit more higher. Because of his defensive capabilities and his ability to dribble the ball and to intercept, you look at those key attributes as opposed to maybe his goals and assists. But he comes to Arsenal in his first season. He's been phenomenal anyway. But he's got some big goals, man. Chelsea away, Man United at home, the barnstormer against West Ham away, Luton away. He gets one yesterday. He actually almost had a second. He almost had a second one in the second half with a fantastic curl that hit the crossbar on the angle. But I think it's his best numbers in the Premier League ever so far, and we still got 10 games to go. So you're looking at the likes of him and Kai Havertz, who I'm going to come on to. Between them, I think they've got, was it 12? Is it 14 Premier League goals between them? That's not bad, and still with 10 games to go. That's not a bad outlook, man. That's not a bad outlay, man, to be fair. Let me come to the chat quickly. AFC always. Listen, we're all going to get onto a certain player. About people, drop in the chat who you thought your player of the match was. I know AFC always has said his, but I'm not going to get his name up yet because, I want to talk about him. I spoke about Ben White before in detail, but we're going to talk about him a little bit later. Me just giving away the name when I just said I wasn't going to say it, but that's an easy mistake to make. But listen, get the goal. Again, good passages of play, but not really carving Brentford open. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm sure you can anyway. Not really carving Brentford open. What I really enjoyed as a fan, I don't know what you guys thought. I thought the battle between, particularly the physical battle between Saliba and Gabriel against Ivan Toney, particularly Gabriel and Ivan Toney, I thought it was really, really good to watch, man. He's a strong boy, Ivan Toney. He does some really good work on the ball. And his link-up play is really, really good. I mean, we've probably seen Toney play in the Premier League now for this season and last season, but you watch him in the flesh, really good physical contact, really good physical contest between those guys. Before, let me come back. I'll come back to it. Go on, Jenny. Jenny, I was gutted. I did not know you was at the game. So I'm very upset that I didn't get to see you. So I've been telling myself off every day. I've been telling myself off today, man. I said, oh man, to get to see my legend Jenny Hogman. So I'm vexed about that. But I've not got many home games left actually, in terms of Arsenal Premier League games. I've got Villa and I have got Bournemouth. I'm going to try and get one for Chelsea when they reschedule the game. I completely forgot about the Luton one. I was so angry. Like I missed the last day to enter was last Monday, 10 o'clock. So I'm going to look around and see if I can get one for Luton at home and Chelsea at home. So, and obviously, last game of the season we've got Everton at home, but we've got plenty more work to do before we get to that kind of talk. But yeah, and I just thought, you know what, when we got the first goal, just thought we needed that second, man, because I know they've got a few injuries missing in terms of Brentford, they're playing stuff, but they can still hurt you from set pieces, and they've got players there that can hurt you. They can. And we thought we was going to go in at half time, 1-0 to the good. And then this happened. Now, a couple of the guys I sort of sit near, they were saying to me, oh, he's not played a lot of football and, he's a bit rusty. And I said, I'm not having that. I said, no. I said, I could understand you coming with that argument. Maybe people might think I'm wrong by saying it. If it was a case of it was the first 2 minutes of the game and he was completely cold. I get it. He's cold anyway because he's not played since, I think, was it the cup game against Brentford? Was it? Apparently, he hasn't played. Did he play one of the Champions League games? I can't remember, but I couldn't believe it. It was actually even worse when I watched it on the replay. When I saw the replay when I actually left the ground, after we won, but I couldn't believe he'd done it. He took so long with the ball. You must have known Vissa was that close when you got to the point of contact to try and clear it. And unbelievably, Arsenal fans, we're going at 1-1. I couldn't believe it. I didn't actually say anything verbally. I didn't get up and start swearing. And I think most of the people have already gone to the concourse to go and get some more beer and some more pies and more food. And they come back and think, oh, it's 1-1. A colossal mistake, man. Anyway, but particularly for the position that Arsenal are in, knowing that a win will take them top of the league, and you go and gift them a goal like that, it was a horrible feeling. Fell for Ramsdale, but it was self-inflicted, unfortunately. And I don't know what you guys felt like who managed to go to the game yesterday, or what it felt like back on the television, but you honestly, when it went half time, you could have heard a pin drop in the stadium, because I just think that Arsenal fans were absolutely stunned. They generally could not believe it. I was sat there, you just sit in silence because there's nothing you can say. What is there to say at that moment when they scored a goal and you're going at halftime 1-1, when you've been comfortable in possession for maybe 60 odd percent possession, causing dangerous problems in the wide areas, but not actually getting shots off on target or on goal. What Mikel Arteta, you're probably thinking, come on, Aaron, seriously, man. So it's a different team talk at half time, isn't it? Because we've had a lot of possession of the ball, but we haven't created a lot of chances. We've gifted them a goal out of nothing. And we, coming into second half, we have 45 minutes to try and get this W to go top of the league. So it's a different halftime team talk, man. Absolutely. Oh, Jenny, I'm not there for Porto, I'm doing a watch along. Listen, one thing you'll know, Jenny, many Arsenal fans will know, it's expensive to come and watch Arsenal. So that's why I'm not going to the Porto game, basically. Yeah, it's sometimes you got to kind of Look at the bank balance a little bit sometimes. It's painful, but yeah. So I'll be doing a watch along. You'll hear my dulcet tones on my channel, and also I'll be doing it on Lee Judges TV. Big up Judges, man. Jenny, let me see. No excuses for that error. Just boot the ball straight out. I couldn't. Jenny, it looked worse than the replay. It looked absolutely worse than the replay. It looked awful in normal time, but it looked even worse than the replay. So you're thinking, Aaron, man, like that's the last thing you want to happen, man. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, different halftime team talk, man. How about second half? No surprise. It was going to be for me a carbon copy of the first half, but with a lot more intensity because we need to get back and win the game. We need to get that second goal. Loads and loads of possession. Work the triangles. We work the combinations. But if you actually look at it, how many times did we actually really work Flecken in goal for Brentford? Not that many times, man. Not at all. I think one thing I will credit Mikel for is one thing that's spoken a lot about him in terms of his time at Arsenal, actually. I'd say definitely the last couple of years, is his substitutions. I thought he made them, I thought he made them at the right times. He brought on the right personnel. And you have to do it well in terms of your subs. When you have a game of that magnitude, it's very important to get it right. You know, he knows as a coach, the players know. Brentford still have something in the locker, something in them to break away on the counter and score. And you saw that with, I mean, what a strike from Ivan Toney. Where I was sitting, I don't know where you guys sit, Jenny. I don't know where you sit in terms of the area of the pitch, but when he hit it, my immediate thought was Ramsdale's in trouble. Ramsdale is definitely in trouble here. If he'd have got a bit more height, it was 2-1 to Brentford, 100%. Brilliant instinctive. And you know what? It probably would have been goal of the season, to be honest. It was an unbelievable strike and a great save from Ramsdale. There's another key moment when Nathan Collins went at the back post. We linked with him one time, actually, believe it or not. Arsenal fans. Nathan Collins, the centre half for Stoke. Sorry, centre half for Brentford, but he came from Stoke when Brentford bought him. But yeah, I expected Aaron Ramsdale to make that save, to be honest with you. But you also had the situation where we almost scored from another set piece in the second half, where the corners come over from, is it Saka? Great flick by Gabriel. Now, where I was sitting, we all thought it was a goal. So we're jumped up like madmen thinking the goal's gone in. We're 2-1, with, you know, we're going to go back to the top of the league. The goalkeeper sitting on the ball. We're like, wow, what's happened? Again, when I watched the replay when I got home, it actually would have gone in. But I think there was a defender on the line who stopped it from going in, and then Flecken got the ball back. So, yeah, man, we are dangerous from set pieces. So, there isn't long left, man. Mikel's made the subs. There's a good stat about Arsenal now. I'm not sure if this flashed up before or after this happened, people. Go on, Cobra Kai, Super Kai, King Kai, whatever you want to call him, people. Call him what you want, as long as it's pleasantry. What a moment, man. Not a last-minute winner, but at a stage of the game where it was massive for Arsenal's season. It was massive for our momentum with 7 wins on the spin. To go and make it 8 wins on the spin. It was actually a really good goal when you watch it back, because Ben White, super instrumental again. Great interchange, I think, with Martin Ødegaard. Great overlapping run. Great ball to the back stick. Well, sort of back stick, but in the center of the goal. And Havertz comes in, bang. Top corner. You know what it reminded me of? And the fan said this to me, actually. Not the same, but I can understand why he said it. He said when Henry scored that header at the Emirates against Manchester United to win 2-1, was it a 1-2 between Rosicky and Eboué? Eboué put over a fantastic ball. Henry bangs it in header. Kai Havertz, massive goal. Important goal for Arsenal. And actually, you know what? An important goal for him, because he's a talking point. He is a talking point. I know people saying I know Brentford were furious about him not being sent off with a dive. And I'll tell you straight, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to come in here and BS you. he should have been sent off. It was an awful dive. And I saw it even from where I was sitting. It was a terrible dive. And he should have got a yellow card. I think the only thing that saved him is the ref didn't see it. If the ref had seen it, he was off. No doubt about it whatsoever. So when you saw him going over to where that part of where it happened, you thought, oh no. And he got a reprieve. But Havertz, brilliant header. Like I said, he's got 8 goals now. I didn't realize that. 8 in the Premier League and 3 assists. Now, somebody said to me 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe 6, 7 weeks ago, that Kai Havertz would get double figures potentially for goals in the Premier League, I would have absolutely laughed at you and told you to stop talking absolute nonsense. Not with the way he's playing. But he's not won sections of our fan base over just yet. One thing I've always said about Kai Havertz is that I think this is full season in England now, if I got it right. If there's one thing that's gonna quiet down the noise or, park it a little bit for some of the Arsenal faithful, is that one thing that changes games is goals. He scored some important goals. I think that's 4 in 4 in the Premier League now, and he's got 8 this season in the Premier League. Probably should have more assists if Arsenal stuck away their chances, and that's the truth. He does very good work in terms of the link-up play, but for where he plays in the position of the pitch, and I think that's the best place to play him, because the transition of the ball can get moved a bit quicker from defense to the central areas to the wide areas, and he can get on the end of things. And what the goal demonstrated is, let's be honest, 3 or 4 seasons ago, maybe 5 seasons ago, Arsenal can't score that kind of goal because we don't have a player, or didn't have a player in the squad or the team that we could look at aerially. Not in the final attacking third anyway. Absolutely not. And he gives us that option to go a little bit more direct. And for the likes of a Jakob Kivior at the moment, or a Ben White more so, that you can go and hit crosses deeper. You can go more of an aerial route instead of the cutbacks, which can also work as well. But brilliant header. It was absolutely pandemonium. I lost my hat about 3 times. I couldn't find it for about 2 or 3 minutes. A big goal. We knew that we had a lot of injury time because what Brentford were playing now, honestly, any physical foul, they went to the ground. I thought the referee completely lost control of the match in the second half. Completely. And actually, when they said there was 7 minutes added time, I actually thought it was going to be about 10 minutes, if I'm going to be honest. But people, smash the like button already. 132 in the chat already. Big up to you, man. Smash the like button, people. Get the algorithms through the roof and subscribe to Albert JTV. The social media handles are going along the bottom of the screen, with my Twitter handle and also my Instagram handle. This is also going on Instagram Live as well. I will put it out on the feed there as well, so you get to hear my dulcet tones on about 700 million platforms, people. But yeah, big goal, man. Big goal. And like I said, I really enjoyed as a fan watching the battle between Ivan Toney and Gabriel. Really physical. He's that kind of defender. Like you've got they're like Cagney Lacey in it. Gabriel and Saliba, our partnership, man. If you're old enough, people, you remember that program. Believe me. But you got the Saliba good on the ball, more cultured, great positionally. Gabriel, touch tight, physical, aggressive. Absolutely fantastic partnership. And to think, people, we got Gabriel and Saliba effectively for the same money, 27 million euros. What an absolute feast, a centre-half partnership. They're going to be the bedrock for so many years, man. Seriously. Absolutely amazing. Listen, and to be fair, I don't really think they created many chances. I'm going to get the stats up on the screen now, people. I do like to pose the stat, people. So there you have it. Arsenal 72% possession, Brentford 28. Arsenal 17 shots to Brentford's 9. Arsenal 6 shots on target to Brentford's 4. 10 corners to Brentford's 4. Fouls 9. Brentford 10,000. There you have it, people. It's a dominant in possession. Without creating many big chances. And I had a quick look. Arsenal, in terms of being in the Premier League team, big chances created, we sit in 6th with 61, Villa 62, Spurs 63, Newcastle also 63, but I don't know how. Yeah, 63. Sorry. Manchester 70, and Liverpool 74. So we still even, and that's even with a lot of the goals we scored recently. So it just goes to show how, even though we are top of the league, we are 8 wins on the spin. We've got a huge game on Tuesday, which we're going to touch on in terms of the UEFA Champions League second round tie, second leg against Porto, FC Porto, sorry. We're still not creating enough chances. And yes, I will say it. Don't let the fact that Arsenal are in a rich scoring vein of form. We absolutely need a striker in the summer. 100%. And I'm talking about me saying, I'm not speaking for any other fan. I get it. We're blowing teams away and clean sheets galore. I think we've got 11 clean sheets in Premier League this season. But Arsenal need a striker. Don't get it twisted. We do. We absolutely do. Let me come to chat quickly, man. Not neglect my chat. Go on, Ross. Ross didn't get to see you either, man. Oh my God, man. Honestly. Right, Rams has a better shot stopper than Rare, but his concentration levels are a bit lower than Reds. That's the thing, man. That goal yesterday he conceded. It's like you said, it's concentration. What other reason would it be to take so long on the ball and then try and clear it? It was insane. Even experienced players have to adapt to a new club. Yeah, listen. Like I said, with Kai Havertz, man, if this guy goes on to get double figures for goals, it's kind of like, it's a weird one, because with Kai Havertz, normally you get it with players where you got a section of fans where they absolutely idolize the player, and you got some that don't look at it like that. But I don't really think he's even in that camp yet. But one thing I said that would silence the Arsenal faithful with Kai Havertz is, if goals change games, man. Goals elevate your games. Goals win you football matches, important football matches. We won a bloody important one yesterday, man. Massive, man. I thought it'd be tight. I went 2-0. I saw people saying 3s and 4s. I'm like, no. I know Brentford are not in great form in terms of, they've not won in 5 now, including yesterday. I think they've conceded more goals this season than they did for the entire of last season. We still got 10 games to go. So it shows you where the issue is for them. But yeah, it's a tough win. We ground out. It's a different win than the previous sort of 4 or 5 games we've done. But by no means, listen, we take them 3 points and we absolutely run, and we go back to the top of the league. So it was my voice is a little bit better than it was yesterday. it didn't feel like that after we left the ground, believe me, but I was like, oh my God. Then obviously, it was what I was feeling at halftime, like many of the Arsenal fans in the chat when they watched this back, who were at the game or watched it. When that game was done, you see that we're top of the league, 8 on the spin. You leave the ground a little bit more happier, in it. Well, what can you say? But like I said, people, smash up the like button, man, and subscribe to Albert JTV to hear my Southeast London dulcet tones, man. Go on, Cobra Kai, in my little layout, man. Go on, son. Get in there, lad. Right, who do I want to talk about? Before we go, and actually, you know what? Shout out to Gabriel. I'm going to tell you why. Before I get into it, let me come to... Go on, Hillsy, son. At the moment, Havertz is the striker we need. I'm still suffering from yesterday. Tresma, I didn't see... You know what? There's so many people I didn't see, man. I'm like, I didn't see Russ. I didn't see Jen. I didn't see Hillsy. I saw Ferg. I saw Dan. Capo Dan and Dan Potts. I saw Sambo. Love Sambo, the background man with Lee Judge of TV and the 12-Man podcast. I saw Polly. Polly makes me laugh, man. Polly Jackson, that woman makes me laugh. Love her. Who else did I see? God, Kenny Ken, of course. I don't think Kenny Ken. Michael Feinberg. Gave me a big smacker. I ain't had a smacker like that for years. I'll tell you that now. No people, there was no tongues. So don't even go there. There's no receipts. But yes, let me not digress. Shout out to Gabriel. I'll tell you why. Very early booking yesterday. You're coming up against a top. Listen, whatever people think of Ivan Toney, I think he's a top striker. I'm speaking about myself saying that. Early yellow card, physical battle, one tackle that goes wrong, and he's off. He's off. He is definitely up there. It'd be interesting to see come the end of the season who's going to be nominated for players, PFA's Player of the Year. I think we got a shout for getting two people in there. Declan Rice, and Gabriel Magalhaes. 100%. I think those two are head and shoulders. Head and shoulders. Don't get me wrong, I love Saka's numbers. You know I love Bukayo Saka, but I'm looking at two guys that have made a huge difference this season. Declan Rice, obviously, and Gabriel just is going to get better and better and better every season. Fantastic centre back, man. Gally's our centre back as well. But people, before we wrap up, I want to talk about one person. He deserves his flowers. We love him. Benny White, or what people may call him, they call him Benny Blanco. Like I said, people, if you've got any questions in, get them in the next 2 to 3 minutes because I'm going to disappear. Ben White. Firstly, I love him. Secondly, he had a stage towards the end of last season, like many of the Arsenal players did, where they froze or the performance levels dipped and City went and won the league. He's now playing at right back. Although he came to club as, main centre back with Gabriel, but he's now playing at right back. Last season and this season. Started off the season not too great. I don't know what it was, just it wasn't clicking for him. But let me tell you something. Probably even a little bit before Dubai. I know, actually, do you know what? Our form wasn't even that great because there's a period not longer where Arsenal won 1 in 7, but after Dubai, he has been superb. It's a shame with the England thing. I don't think we're ever going to find out why he came home early until maybe he writes a book, because he's been kept under wraps for quite a while, and I think it's a shame that he potentially may not go to a major championship because he's been absolutely outstanding. Looking at the inverted role, and I know we played it from the opposite side of the pitch with Zinchenko. But one thing that was, I kind of looked at and thought to myself, you know what? I don't know why he can't do that from the other side of the pitch. Not with Thomas Partey, but Ben White. Ben White offers it different than Zinchenko. When Ben White plays in the inverted role, because he plays at fullback, he's used to overlapping. So he will go beyond Bukayo Saka. He will go beyond the midfield players. He might even go beyond the strikers. So he brought a different role to it, and he's comfortable in possession as well. Scored this season. I think he scored a couple, actually. A power driver the other day against Sheffield United. 2 assists yesterday. I think that's his first assist in the Premier League this season, actually. I have to double check that. Double checking now, I'm not sure. But drop in the chat if he is. He's been absolutely superb, man. Love him. He can wind the opposition up, which I like. He's got that devil about him. I'd love to meet him. He's just one of them guys. He's just cool, man. And it's funny with Ben White. I'll tell you something as well. It's funny because I'll never forget this. When we was linked with him before the men's Euros in this country, obviously they touted around £50 million. Arsenal fans were having kittens. Oh, too much money and this and that. And I'm like, look, if you've seen the boy play, firstly, you wouldn't complain. You might complain a little bit about the money, but you wouldn't complain. Because if you've seen him play, whether it be his loan spell at Leeds, playing at Brighton in a free, by the way, not as a back, not in a back 4, in a back 3. Comes to Arsenal, plays in the back 2. Following season, gets moved to right back. 3 different positions in 3 seasons. If you want to add the inverted role thing into it, 3.5, 4. Yeah, like I said, before men's Euros, a lot of talk about Ben White coming to Arsenal and £50 million and overrated, English, tax, the whole shebang. And I remember being on a podcast on my channel, and a particular Arsenal fan said that when I was talking about Ben White and saying, listen, he's one we should definitely get. Put the money down. It's a lot of money, but believe me, he's one we should get. He's a very, very good player. He's a very, very good defender. And the Arsenal fan at the time who was on my stream turned around and said, are you sure he's not just another Rob Holding? Those were the exact words. Now, to me, that was a comment of somebody, for one, that hadn't seen him play. Two, it was lazy analysis. And three, you're judging a book by its cover based on what? Because he's a countryman of he's an English countryman. Like to me, and I remember it like it was yesterday. And that's a problem with sections of our fan base. I don't care how old you are, your snobbery is unbelievable. You can't help when you're born as an Arsenal fan. But one thing I do know is don't turn your nose up at certain players. We've had some fantastic footballers at this football club who did not play for fashionable clubs and came to this football club, Arsenal Football Club, and tore it up, people. And people remember them as legends. So I remember that conversation I had with that particular Arsenal individual fan who said that. Now you see them all out there, guys. I'm in the YouTube space. I see it all the time. Oh, Ben White is amazing and this and that. But you didn't want to give it time at the time, did you? Even in his first season when he came. I actually thought he did all right in the preseason. And then coming into the season, I thought he did okay for his first season at Arsenal. I thought he did really well, actually. He's not coming into a team where the defense is excellent. No offense, they weren't. So it's a lot for a guy to come to a new club, to the stature of Arsenal. No disrespect to Brighton, and to have done as well as he's done against top wingers in this Premier League. And done brilliantly, by the way. So for that Arsenal fan that said that day, next time, do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Don't judge a book by its cover. And most importantly, at least let the man put on a bloody Arsenal shirt before you make them kind of statements. And that's what I will say. So Benny White, love you, man. Fantastic, fantastic footballer. Keep up the fantastic work. And your displays have been phenomenal, man. Benny Blanco, Benny Cafu, whatever you want to call him. Benny White. Absolutely superb, man. And he absolutely deserves these flowers. Let me come to the chat quickly. Okay. Jetty, Gabby, strong, aggressive. Yeah, he is. Love him. Absolutely love him. Benjamin, our diva. And guys, before I wrap up, we are 43 minutes in. 153 watching. Big up to you, man. Punch up the like button, like I said, man. And get this thing going. Right, where's it? Why is it not showing up on the thing? All right, let me make sure this is going live on Twitter as well. Am I looking? I am. I can see it. Right, here we go. There we go. Retweeted on there as well. But listen, big game Tuesday. Champions League, people. We lost the first leg, 1-0 over there, with not a shot on target. I'm gonna bet. No, I won't bet my rent money because that'd be bloody stupid. But you know what I mean. That Arsenal will get a shot on target come Tuesday night. Big game of football. Listen, as Arsenal fans, and I said this on the Hybrid Squad as a closing statement, which Kevin Campbell normally does. Big up KC, man. I hope you get better soon, brother. We've wanted to be in this position for a very, very long time as fans, being starved of Champions League football for a number of years. We're in it. We're in the last 16. We've got still a lot of work to do because we're losing the tie, remember. It's not evenly balanced. We're losing. So we're going to have to put in a strong, very, very good performance on Tuesday. It'd be very, very interesting because I don't think the starting lineup will be as clear-cut as some people might think, considering we're 1-0 down. But we've got players to come off the bench to obviously affect the game. Obviously, Jesus and Thomas Partey. And Zinchenko's obviously back on the bench now as well. That's 3 key players coming back. Fabio Vieira as well, obviously, is there as well. So we've got options to come off the bench and change the game. We've got to have an absolutely hotbed of an atmosphere for this game. It's huge because the thing is, at the start of the season, I actually thought in terms of where Arsenal were getting the Champions League. I was worried coming into the campaign. I've got to be honest with you because we've been out of it for so long, and you look at our Europa League campaigns, and we couldn't get over the line of that one. So you're going to get a better quality of opposition in the Champions League. So, but Arsenal have an opportunity to get to the quarterfinal, right? And with the way it's shaped up in terms of teams that have got through, if Arsenal can pull it off and get through to the quarterfinals, we're gonna have a humdinger potentially for quarterfinal because Bayern's through, Real Madrid's through, Manchester City's through, Inter Milan is still to play. I think Napoli, Barcelona are still to play as well, aren't they? And then there's us, and then I think there's Dortmund. Is it Dortmund and Leipzig? So we're going to get a hotbed of a quarterfinal. I said, touch wood, if we get through, like hope Arsenal get through, please get through Tuesday. Something's telling me, my head's telling me, I would love to see us play Real Madrid just because we don't always get an opportunity as Arsenal fans to see the top players or top teams come to England and play at the Emirates. It's just the case. One, because you haven't played in the Champions League for so long. That's probably the reason why. But I think in my heart, probably Bayern. People's dark horses to win the competition in Milan. And actually, you know what? They actually should have beat City in that Champions League final last year. I think they should have beat them. I mean, they had big chances, man. They didn't take them, they lost. But that's what we're going to remember, Rodri's goal. It's a big game Tuesday. Score prediction. Don't really want to do one, but I'm going to go for Arsenal to win 3-1. Heard it here first, people. Albert JTV said we're going to go 3-1 to Arsenal on the night. So we'll win 3-2 on aggregate. Don't think it's too bold a statement to make. Home advantage. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely rocking. For the people that are going, I won't be at the game. I'll be doing a live watch along on my channel and Lee Judge TV. Hopefully I can get a ticket for the latter rounds. But hopefully. Again, touch wood. Let me come to the chat quickly because I'm going to wrap up soon. Go on, Jenny. Let's see what you're saying, Jen. Been going since 1960. Listen to very few supporters. You know what? Oh, same one. Hold on. Big up Tuesday. Can't wait. Jenny, I'm going to make sure I can listen. Look out for you on the TV screen. And I'll give Russ a shout to say that I've seen you. But yeah, people, listen. Albert JTV reaction has come to a close on the Sunday evening. What I do want to say, big up to the people in the chat. Smash the like button, obliterate it, and subscribe to Albert JTV. Happy Mother's Day to every mother out there. Listen, there's many of us that have either spent family time or gone out to eat, and no longer our mums are still around. Listen, lost my mum, very open about it. Lost my mum in April 6, 2020. So it'll be 4 years next month. Miss her loads, love her to pieces. But I'm sure she's watching her only son doing a YouTube channel talking about his beloved Arsenal. But yeah, big up to happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, man. And if your mums are still not around, then my condolences and God bless you all, man. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. But yeah, big up to people in the chat, 100%. And yes, that is Albert JTV over and out for a Sunday night Albert JTV reaction. Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. We are top of the league. And of course, got the result we wanted today, but we have to take care of business. And I've said this before to a few people yesterday and maybe a week ago or so. I think for Arsenal to get over the line to win this league, this is my own personal opinion. I'm not talking about any other Arsenal fan in the chat. We watch it back, whatever. For us to win the league, we have to beat City away. People will say to me, oh, no, we've got to get a result and just not lose. I think we have to go there and win. Now, I don't say it in a way, if you can hear by the tone of voice, I'm not saying it in a way that is cocky or arrogant, but I just look at the fixtures we've got left particularly our away games. And City, for me, we set down some statements this season. To go to the Etihad and beat them would set down a humongous marker. Humongous. Catastrophic, humongous. For me, what we've got to beat City away and Tottenham away, in my own humble opinion. Because you need to give yourself some breathing space in terms of, look, people might say you draw at City, you beat Tottenham, you beat United. After Tuesday, you know who we've got next. We've got a massive gap in between. I think it's almost 3 weeks. And if Wolves beat Coventry in the FA Cup, that game's going to get moved. So that's going to get a new fixture date, as well as the Chelsea one at home, which has been moved from the 16th of March to a new date, which has not been confirmed yet. So I think for Arsenal to win the league, closing statement, we need to beat Man City away. For me, that's it. Just the way the season's going, the momentum. We ain't got a good record there. Obviously, just the City haven't got a good record at Anfield. They haven't. But maybe the time is now. Maybe the time is now. And we've got some big difference makers in that Arsenal team, man. And we're going to need it for the remainder of the season. And obviously Tuesday night, and we go to the Etihad. But yeah, for me, to win the league, we need to beat City away, 100%. But people, Albert JTV says, good night and God bless. I will see you soon on Tuesday night for the big one at the Emirates. But I'll be on Albert JTV and Lee Judges TV. Good night and God bless you all. And happy Mother's Day once again. I'll see you soon, people.